shots, and the Indiana Fever just put heads and feet on the Chicago Sky, who continue to be the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. This was what I expected. There was a point where the Chicago Sky made a run and made the game too close for my liking. We will get to that, but let's make no mistake about this game. This was the Kelsey Pistol Mitchell show. This was the Kelsey Pistol Mitchell show.
Caitlin Clark appeared in court as like she had a special grudge against the scoreboard. The Chicago Sky, let's just say, had no chance. Angel Reese appeared to be out there looking for her defense, which she had lost. The Indiana Fever burned everything in their way because they were molten, not simply hot. What incited this raging takeover, then? Did someone add rocket fuel to Caitlin's Gatorade? The disarray that led to this basketball blowout should be dissected.
No! But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? She's that moment today. She's that girl, always. Thank you. Nothing like getting a nice little dub.
Did not just triumph. Their presentations included a masterclass, a clinic, and a full-length PSA. Scoreboard numbers were 93-78. In all honesty, though, that was kind. Make it stop, please. It felt more like 93. The Chicago Sky were demolished, not simply defeated. Even though Angel Reese was physically present, it seemed as though she was only present in the fan cam's comment box, tweeting through the mayhem as her team struggled to switch up their defensive rotation.
Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W, 93-78. The Chicago Sky, no Angel Reese, no Haley Van Lith. Half their team was out, but it did not matter because our best player was out. So you know what the saying is? Next man up. And we decided to show up while Camila Cardoso decided to no call, no show.
Angel Reese has emerged as the loudest bench warmer on the internet, let's face it. Although she plays like a third-string forward in a preseason scrimmage, she speaks like a Hall of Famer. Indeed, she has the lashes, the confidence, and a TikTok following that surpasses some nations. However, the scoreboards of all other players also turn on when the lights do, but not hers. Let's not act fake, either. The outcome would not have altered even if she had participated. Not even close.
The Indiana Fever got the dub today against the Chicago Sky with a 15-point dub in the United Center. The Fever and the Sky is definitely the most talked about rivalry right now in the W. The Fever improved to 3-0 against the Chicago Sky this season. Since Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have joined the league, the Indiana Fever has a 6-1 winning record against the Sky. Kelsey Mitchell went off today in the United Center. She scored 35 points and had 6 assists. She almost had a 40 ball. We still waiting on that DoorDash, Kathy. Chloe Baby today with her debut with the Indiana Fever. She had 8 points off the bench with a 40% field goal percentage. She was very, very key today in offense.
93-68 is what it would have been. Caitlin Clark would have added 10 more for amusement. That is her level of lock-in. She becomes a long-range assassin driven by accuracy and the perfect amount of petty aggression the moment she recognizes Angel across the court. The Fever are performing like a living thing in the meantime. 5 players in unison, moving with intent, passing with precision, and scoring as if they had reservations for dinner at half-past-win. Pure poetry is in every property.
Put them in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kelsey Money Mitchell erupted today. Michaela Timpson continues to show every time you put her in the game, every time you give her some actual quality minutes, she will not disappoint.
Basketball isn't all that this is. Caitlin Clark is holding a flamethrower, while Aaliyah Boston is placing picks as if she were directing traffic on a motorway. Pick your poison and pick and roll collide. This isn't some Bird versus Magic moment, let's face it. That put 2 great teams with 2 legends. This pits Caitlin and the Fever against whoever was able to wear similar jerseys. The only team on that court that appears to be vying for a title is the one that lights up the arena like a microwave on high. The rest of them are merely recording cardio. For the Fever to be amazing, drama is not necessary. They don't use post-game interviews, talk programs, hot takes, or side-eye. They have a superior idea: unity, skill, and a coach who genuinely appears to understand the purpose of a clipboard. Identity is what separates the Fever from the Sky, not just skill. A system exists in Indiana. Chicago has a certain atmosphere, perhaps on a good day. And Barbie. Reese wasn't there when Caitlin turned the tunnel into a meet and greet with 200 fans. Not only is Caitlin playing ball, but she is also transforming society. Because of her, WNBA venues are becoming must-attend events. While Caitlin is selling huge crowds, Rhea is only selling sound bites. The headline is one thing, and the plot is the other.
The bricklaying slump wasn't sitting out faking a back injury, but she's sitting up and down on the goddamn bench. Maybe if y'all wouldn't have drafted the worst fucking basketball player of all time, eye space too far apart Reese. Maybe if the Black Clan didn't make up all of y'all stupid ass fan base, hit the gym, work on some work ethic, then maybe y'all team could have got a win today.
The difference is palpable. There is a slight break in the ancient narratives each time Caitlin Clark pulls up from the parking lot and drills another three. Whenever Angel Reese tweets from the locker room, the internet remembers that she's still working on catching up. Being well-known for basketball is not the same as being well-known beside it. Rhea is the latter at the moment, clinging to her influence as though it were a rebound she was yet unable to obtain. Now, let's discuss the actual disparity. The one who is calm, executes well, and distinguishes between those who are merely talking and those who are actually doing the work, not the one on the scoreboard. The brand of Angel is well known. She's playing somewhere else. Caitlin is demonstrating that the league is still dominated by consistency in the meanwhile. She was acting like it was playtime and throwing no-look dimes. Playing as if she had a permanent green light was Kelsey Mitchell. Boston ripped through the paint as if someone had challenged her to smash a backboard. It involved surgery. It was barbarous. Dare we say that was team basketball?
I want to ask you about a specific topic that you brought up to me yesterday, and it had something to do with the WNBA's Angel Reese with the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark did not play, so tell us a little bit of your takeaway from that game, and I want to hear Najee's takeaway because obviously Najee's very knowledgeable about that game as well. What did Angel Reese do or did not do to help her team win or lose, in other words?
Man, they got their bet off, man, and they just got wet.
That might be the distinction. The Fever appeared to have a good working relationship. The Sky appeared to have been compelled to work on a joint project the previous evening. Angel is too preoccupied with establishing her brand to cultivate trust. And it's okay if you want to work in the media. The Fever continue to show that they are not a fluke in the meantime. Caitlin and a formula are both involved. No offense intended, but let's just assume that even if Angel Reese had played 40 minutes, the heavens would still have failed to avert the result. Caitlin had won. The temperature was at 10. And somewhere beneath that, still looking for a hint or a spark, was the Sky. And despite hardly perspiring, Rhea is still tweeting as though she dropped 40.
So today, lads, the Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night. And obviously, it was... I actually am impressed by the Chicago Sky's fight. They were overmatched. They were absolutely overmatched. Because I gotta say this, they tried. This is the first time I've seen the Sky without both Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins try for a full game.
Perhaps it's time to quit acting like this is some kind of great competition. This is not a Barbie versus Clark matchup. Boredom versus Caitlin. She won't be looking back if you're not on her level. While others are practicing excuses, she is too busy rewriting history. This will continue to be a one-sided narrative through threes, quick breaks, and sold-out arenas until Angel begins to appear on the scoreboard more often than she does in sound bites. It's not female beef for the future. Caitlin Clark holds the pen, and basketball is the sport of the future. Let's resolve this before the fantasy spiral gets any worse. The notion that Caitlin Clark is doing nothing because she isn't on the floor for a short while is not only incorrect, but it is also mental gymnastics on an Olympic level. What do they believe she is doing? Just having her there changes the game's geometry. She separates championship contenders from awkward squads that play like co-workers forced into a trust fall by bringing that rare intangible element that isn't visible in the box score. Caitlin Clark isn't merely playing for the sake of playing. She is helping her squad adapt in real time, reading the game as if it were her thesis and coordinating the energy, merely feelings and the aesthetics of Instagram. Angel's leadership is dial-up, but Caitlin's is a fast Wi-Fi connection. Eventually, you might hear anything, but by then, the play is finished and the game is buffering. Sit on the bench and watch Caitlin. Her warm-up is half-sipped, and she's not slouching back as she counts down the seconds before her next photo session. She is acting like the assistant coach who truly understands how to win, calling out plays, reading the floor, and being focused. Professionals and personalities differ in this way. Giving the cameras commands is not what leadership is all about. Even while you're riding the bench, it's about improving everyone around you and staying present in the moment. Caitlin Clark understands. Even though she's physically there, Angel Reese is in spiritual aeroplane mode. Unless there is a camera flash nearby, she disappears while she is not on the court. Like their endorsement arrangements, they only collect minutes. No coaching, reads, or presentations. Caitlin leads with pragmatism rather than performance. She provides her teammates with the blueprint to close gaps that she finds in real time. Not only is that beneficial, but in a league where a single botched rotation can turn a victory into a defeat, it's vital. And everything she learned on the sidelines seemed to transfer directly into her game when she's back on the floor. She has the clapbacks and the flexes, no doubt, but her intelligence is even more impressive. Not only that, but emotional intelligence as well as basketball IQ. She is adept at determining when to accelerate, slow down, and hyper-team.